Welcome to Talkin Baloney.
Calvin Cocoa Pop.
This is Bucci.
Oh, gosh.
What's going on?
No script allowed.
What are you, some kind of bot? Come on, people.
Oh, yeah. Pickle, you gotta give him a pickle, right?
I want to be a movie star.
Wow, that sounds so interesting.
Fresh and quick.
Pudgy, pizza.
Part of the Baloney Nation.
Jim Deezy.
You guys still there?
It's such a great intro, man. Every time.
It gets you every time.
Every time, man.
You know it's coming. But.
It's especially the Pudgies, the little Pudgies jingle at the end. You know what I mean?
You want to give a shout out to Leona? Because last time we were doing this live, she left a comment. We didn't get a chance to mention her.
Oh, yes. She's down there in the Florida, Florida.
She's a flow rider.
Yep. Down there doing the old people thing in the retirement home.
Wow.
Pudgy, pizza.
That's her right there.
Yeah, she could probably use a good laugh. She's been having some house issues, so.
So you're making fun of her. It's like,
shout out.
Perfect.
Shout out to the mother-in-law.
Well, Jim Deezy, we are live on YouTube,
Yay.
Facebook, and nowhere else.
Hey, we're live in the studio.
That's true. So what better time to talk about zombies?
I know. Awesome. Good segue.
Yeah. We are going to break down some zombie movies.
Okay.
We're going to follow kind of a path through cinematic history.
Okay.
And hopefully you've seen some of them.
I probably have. I'm into the blood, guts, and gore movies, so.
You are.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the zombie movies,
A lot.
in general, they're really like slasher kind of movies.
Yeah. Heads off, eyeballs, branches through the forehead, stuff like that.
So we're going to start with, well, first off, I'm going to say zombie movies have been around since like 1932.
Mm-hmm.
They were big in the 40s and 50s, but they were like the B-movie type slasher, and not really the zombies that we've come to know and appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie I'm going to start with is 1964, Vincent Price in The Last Man on Earth. This was a film adaptation of I Am Legend by Richard Matheson.
Didn't that have Will
Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith in it.
Yeah, so Will Smith remade that movie.
Yeah.
43 years after this.
Vincent Price, better known for his little segment in Thriller.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. Because
Yeah.
if I was on the ball, I would have
That was a good. That was
immediately done that. Just let it play.
Awesome. Even sound like there was a little coffin opening up at the end there.
I think there was.
Yeah.
Because it's a thriller. It's a thrill of the night.
He only did that part live once on one of the late night talk shows, one time.
You mean Vincent Price was actually there when like Michael Jackson was there?
No, he actually was on a talk show. I read a little article about this around Halloween. He was actually on a talk show, and he only did that in a studio in front of an audience one time. All other times it was like, behind the scenes and things like that, but he only did it live in person once.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So this movie, again, early zombie movie. Not a lot of action. I do own this one on DVD.
No CGI in this one?
No CGI. Did you ever see Omega Man? Charlton Heston?
No.
That's from the 70s, like 71 or so.
Okay.
Based on the same book as this and the Will Smith movie. And they're all kind of really different.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a lot more psychological than action-oriented. You should check it out, though. You gotta love Vincent Price.
It's black and white, too.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, he was into all that horror movie stuff back then, too. That was his thing.
Yeah. He's the king of horror. And do you remember him on the Brady Bunch?
No. Was he on the Brady Bunch?
Do you remember the episode of the Brady Bunch, the multi-part episode that they went to Hawaii and they found that little tiki doll and it caused all kinds of bad things to happen?
Brady Bunch.
Well, that was Vincent Price, the archaeologist. Yeah. So how about Night of the Living Dead, 1968?
I know this one. I've seen this one.
Yeah. This is kind of the granddaddy of them all.
Mm-hmm. This is what started it all.
Yeah. This is really the modern zombie start right here. Thoughts on it?
Plus, it's black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, this is before, think about going to see this in a drive-in movie theater back in the day.
Yeah. And you'd never seen anything like it before. It would just freak you out.
It'd be awesome. Run up on a car all in makeup.
And, I don't know if you saw the picture, but the makeup is a lot more subdued than the more modern movies, which I think makes it a little bit more frightening.
I think it makes there's more of a creepy aspect to it with the fact that there's less makeup, maybe just a little extra around the eyes.
Yeah, because they look like regular people and they're trying to kill you.
Yeah. Brains.
So that was George Romero.
Okay.
Who is the godfather of zombie movies.
Oh, you know what he's done? I know where we're going with this now, because I know a couple of movies he's done.
So Night of the Living Dead kicked that off, and you'll see a lot more from that.
Okay.
Including this next one, which was the sequel in '78, Dawn of the Dead.
Look at the makeup on this one.
Yeah, so the makeup, I won't say the makeup got better, but...
I actually, once they added color, I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Looks like they all rolled in mud.
So, interesting fact about Dawn of the Dead. Filmed at Monroeville Mall, just outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That might be a road trip for us someday, because they have a lot of movie stuff at the mall.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Down.
So, in this one, it's... continuing the story of Night of the Living Dead, the zombies are starting to take over the planet, and a bunch of people are kind of locked up in a mall trying to survive. It's pretty good.
I like it.
So we go ahead to the next George Romero movie from the same series, Day of the Dead, 1985.
Is this a zombie shooting a gun?
That is a zombie shooting a gun.
And he can... Well, the way he's holding it, it looks like he's having a hard time pulling the trigger, so I'm not sure.
And that zombie's name is Bub.
Oh. It's a good name for a zombie. Bub.
So in this one, the military... Again, this is the story keeps going, so the zombie plague is everywhere. And some scientists are trying to study zombies and figure out what's going on. And they're trying to train this one that they named Bub how to... talk and return to a normal life. That doesn't work out well in the end, as you can see.
How could that possibly end well?
You gotta give him points for creativity.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, my guy, it's a dead guy.
What if we taught him some basic stuff?
Let's teach him how to act alive. The
same year, 1985, Reanimator.
I remember seeing this movie, and who's the star of this one?
So that there pictured is Jeffrey Combs.
Huh.
Reanimator, I think there's probably 4 or 5 of these.
Yes. Too many.
Yes. I think the first one got some good reviews. I think after that it just,
Yeah. Gone downhill.
And this is more of a Frankenstein version where he's trying to bring back the dead, and it, of course, doesn't go well.
Again, folks, the theme here is bringing the dead back is not a good idea.
Nothing ever goes right when scientists try to do stuff. Makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
What if there was this thing where everyone had to get a shot because science said, what?
Wait, what?
What?
How is that legal?
Not my president.
The world's full of stupid people.
So, 1985, Return of the Living Dead.
Ah, yes.
Now, we talked about Night of the Living Dead and 1968. That was like the birth of the modern zombies. This one kind of took it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie that first had zombies going, brains. Must
Give
eat
me brains. Yes.
And that became like the go-to zombie kind of stereotype after this movie.
You know what I never understood about this part where they talk about the gimme brains thing was
Yeah.
in the movie, every time a zombie would say that, the person was like voluntarily giving their head to them. Like, here you go ahead. It's
Just about.
like nobody was fighting off the zombie. They were just like, go ahead, bite into my forehead.
So I just watched this like the last week on Blu-ray. It's pretty wild. Like, first off, there's a group of kids, and they are the most 80s kids you've ever seen. They're all like a different type of punk. You've got the one kid with the mohawk, another kid with the oversized suit. It's just all stereotypical.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm guessing Thriller came out shortly before this because most of the movie takes place in a cemetery and the music kind of sounds like Thriller. So, there's that.
This isn't the one that opens. Is this the one that opens with them robbing the dead people?
I think that was one of these sequels.
Okay, all right. I can see.
This one opens up, so it's a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some zombies in containers that the government lost track of.
Yes, I see this.
And so these guys at this warehouse see these containers, and they're saying like, "Oh, don't worry, they're perfectly safe." And he knocks the side of the container, and gas immediately comes out.
Yep.
And starts turning everyone to zombies.
Yes.
There's a redhead punk girl who
Yep.
gets naked and is pretty much naked the entire movie. Because 1985.
Yeah. Because 1985 was going to do 1985 stuff.
So I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Great watch. Good family movie.
And it's a cult classic.
Yeah.
It's a movie people, like I said, a huge influence.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever The Simpsons make fun of zombies or do any kind of zombie parody, it's always like that movie. Brains.
Give me brains.
But they're not always good movies. And Dead Heat was 1988.
Oh my God.
You remember this one?
Yes, I do. Holy crap.
Joe
This was
Piscopo.
it's trash.
Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams as cops, and one of them, I believe they're investigating like a series of robberies that are being committed by zombies because, yeah.
Yep.
And then Treat Williams gets infected, becomes a zombie, and then he teams up with his old cop buddy, played by Joe Piscopo.
Zombies were a problem in the 80s.
So as how many times can you do the same zombie movie? So they start, branching out. What else can we do? A buddy cop movie, but with a zombie. And the 80s were like the king of buddy cop movies.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that they did like Alienation, where one of the cops was an alien.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
This is just totally in line with what was going on.
Oh.
1988, Return of the Living Dead 2.
Yep. Here we go.
So this is the one you were talking about where they start out there trying to rob like a cemetery. And, there's one of those containers again. Same exact thing happens.
Yep. Except this one, I think the container's in like a storm drain and the kids find it and they...
Not as good as the first one.
No.
And in this series of The Living Dead, there's like 3 more after this that we're not going to mention because they all got worse and worse. But what's interesting is, so the original Night of the Living Dead, George Romero, this is not connected after that first movie. There was a split where George Romero movies became something The Dead, and then these became something The Living Dead. Mm-hmm. But they all are born from the same movie.
This is the one where the girl literally puts her head down and says, "Okay, go ahead, but don't take too much."
Yes. That's what you were thinking.
Yes. This one's bad. This was really bad.
Yeah. But you take the good, you take the bad.
Yep.
And there you have a bunch of zombie movies.
Yeah.
How about The Serpent and the Rainbow?
Seen it, don't remember it at all.
Okay. Wes Craven? Does that sound right?
Okay, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
So it's got to be good.
And possibly Stephen King connected some way, maybe?
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
This is your classic take on voodoo stuff with the zombies. Because I guess the idea of like more containers containing zombies lying around got old. So
We don't have any voodoo dolls for this show, do we? That would have been great.
you got Mankind right there.
No pins. We need pins.
Oh. Well, you really want to take it to the next
Let's
level.
take it to the next level. Let's see if we can conjure something up on the...
But before we stop talking about this movie, you recognize the actor.
Hey, that's, holy cow, hold on. It's a guy from Independence Day.
It is.
Yes.
From Hornell.
Yeah, Hornell, New York.
You got his name?
Nope.
It's not Bill Paxton.
No.
Bill Pullman?
Bill Pullman. With 2 L's.
All right, so this next one I know you know, so I'm going to let you talk about this.
Oh, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
This was, I'm telling you right now, this is the best Pet Sematary movie out of all of them. Even the remake. They tried way too hard in the remake. But this one, I mean, it's got, what's his name? Judd? That his name? That was his name in the movie, right? Judd?
I don't know. I know that's Fred Gwynn, who played Herman Munster.
Yeah.
And was also the judge in My Cousin Vinny,
Oh, yeah.
The Two Utes.
This is a good movie. Like,
Yeah.
when it came out, I mean, there was no real movies about, bringing your cat or anything back to life. I mean, obviously, if your cat dies, you throw in a trash bag, put it in the trash.
So this is definitely Stephen King.
Yeah.
And yeah, the premise is there's this pet cemetery, you put your dog there, boom, he's back.
Yep.
Maybe a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Who would notice?
Obviously, he's going to need some more training,
Yeah.
and a bath.
And then you start putting people in the cemetery. And,
That's not going to end well.
yeah.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So that's the first of the pet cemeteries. I think we might come back to those. Mm-hmm. 1992, a movie called Brain Dead or Dead Again, possibly called that.
So I remember seeing this. I mean, it's the year we graduated high school.
That is.
Holy cow.
Way to make us old. We're live.
Well,
Can't edit that out.
at least we're still alive, I guess. I mean, just bring us back in a zombie movie.
So Brain Dead was directed by Peter Jackson. It was one of his early movies. He, of course, of the Lord of the Rings fame and a really boring 3.5-hour King Kong movie. He doesn't get enough blame for making a boring King Kong movie. Who does that?
Which King Kong movie did he do?
He did the one with Jack Black.
Oh my God, that one's horrible.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's super long.
I love Jack Black too. He's great.
Oh, he's great, but
That movie, not so great.
no.
No. They tried way too hard on that one. Way too hard.
So back to Brain Dead. This is kind of considered one of the goriest or bloodiest movies in movie history. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't. Have to watch it again now. It's on Netflix. Amazon Prime.
Probably. 1992 also has Pet Sematary 2. Mm-hmm. That is Edward Furlong from Terminator 2.
Yep.
Also in the movie was Clancy Brown, I believe.
He plays the sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always good.
Yeah. He's great in everything.
Yeah.
And he kills the dog. They bury it in the pet cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like an abusive dad. Like,
His character he's really funny once he becomes the dead guy. Yeah. It's like he has a better personality after he's dead.
Well,
it happens.
So in the history of zombie movies, that's kind of like the first wave, I would say, of quality. And then there is a long history of really cheesy, cheap, direct-to-video zombie movies. Yeah, we're not going to talk about those because we would have to change this podcast to Talking Zombies, and we would like 100 episodes to get through them all.
Yeah.
So fast forward, 2002, the genre is reinvented once again with 28 Days Later.
This was a good movie.
This was a movie that made zombies like really threatening.
This one was more believable than the other ones.
Yes.
You know, they laid out the backstory to it. They laid out, you know, where all of a sudden the world's dividing up into little pockets of people trying to keep themselves safe.
It kind of took it like, what would actually really happen? Like, how would this really go down? Instead of like Hollywood version. And it yeah, very real. And then the zombies are super fast, aggressive.
Yeah.
Freaky.
It's almost like, you know, like this guy woke up and he didn't get the shot. And he woke up...
Yeah.
Anywho,
if we were the kind of show that talked politics,
yeah.
man, we could
Nope.
So 28 Days Later was a huge hit, and that kind of spurned like another phase of zombie movies. Mm-hmm. Also, Resident Evil came out that year.
I never got into these. I've seen them all, and I never got into them. This was more of the spin on the. It almost felt like you were watching a video game.
Right. So it's based on a video game.
Yeah.
And I think they're up to like 5 or 6 of these. I think they've finally stopped making them. But yeah, I'm not a fan either. Like you said, they're obviously big-time action movies.
Yeah, too over the top.
Yeah.
They were just way too over the top.
I like what I think is so great about zombie movies is when they're done right, you can really say something about society, people, government. You can say a lot of stuff. Resident Evil, what did that movie say?
He just knew at the end they were going to have another one.
Yeah. So in 2004, Dawn of the Dead gets remade, directed by Zack Snyder, his first movie.
In a mall, again.
Yep, same concept,
Yep.
same story, takes place in the mall. Good cast, Ving Rhames, Omar Epps, Sarah Polley.
Yeah, this was a good movie. And this was the kind of gave you the first time you're seeing how fast people are getting infected.
Yes.
In this one.
This movie starts, it has one of the best opening sequences in terms of like telling a story, because in 5 or 6 minutes they show through fake newsreels and clips how the zombie thing started and spread. It's really good.
Yeah. This was good. Again, this was adding a new spin to the zombies, how much faster they became. They were getting smarter.
And it was like a big budget movie. It
Yeah.
wasn't a cheap, we're going to make this for as little as possible. Do you know where this one was filmed?
Destiny USA?
No. Good guess. It was filmed at a mall in Toronto.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, 2 zombie movies that take place in malls, and they're all both within driving distance from us.
We got passports.
We could do it in one day.
One day.
Hit 2 zombie malls.
Do a little loop.
We might be the first ones in history to do that.
Well, that's if the malls are still open. Most of these places are shut down from Amazon now anyway. So.
That's true.
Anywho.
So 2004 is also Shaun of the Dead.
Love this movie.
This is a fantastic movie.
Love the scene where they're in the backyard and they're throwing records and a lamp and different things at the...
At the zombie they have chained up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a movie that pays homage to zombie movies, particularly like Night of the Living Dead, is making fun of stuff, but doing it in a way where like, oh, these people actually like zombie movies.
Yeah, this was pretty good. This was had some, obviously he's a funny actor anyway, but this is a great movie.
You want to say his name too?
Simon something.
Simon Pegg.
Yes.
And the director is Edgar Wright, who also did Baby Driver and Scott Pilgrim and other Simon Pegg movies that like Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
It's a great movie. Totally recommended. If you're going to watch zombie movies, you got to have at least one good comedy in there, and this would be it.
Had a great bar in there too. Was there a bar in that movie that they all hung out at?
Are you thinking of the other movie?
Is it the other one?
Yeah,
Has the
World's
bar?
End.
That's it. Yeah, all right. Yeah. There's so many of them. They're all alike.
2005, Land of the Dead. This is continuing the George Romero series of zombie movies, which again is a kind of a... Each movie advances the story, so I think by the point of this movie, it's like 400,000 zombies for every one person on the planet.
This one was weird too, because almost like the zombies were smart. They were smart in this one.
Yeah, I think they did something where the longer the zombies are like alive, the like smarter they get or something.
Yeah. I remember there's a scene in this where they come across the river or something, right? And all their heads are popping up out of the water, and they're staring at the big tall building that everybody's supposedly at. And
yeah, so this is set in Pittsburgh, like most of the Dead movies. I don't know why. What's wrong with Pittsburgh? But so they use the city as kind of a protection. So you have the three rivers, so they're protected by the water, and then they have a big electrified fence to keep out the zombies. And the zombies figure out how to cross the water, and
yeah,
it's a pretty good movie.
What's funny is they didn't drown, they didn't swim, they walked.
Yeah. I find the George Romero movies are pretty good. I like the continuing story, and also each one is kind of different kind of setting, and it's not just the same movie being remade every time.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes, there's a sequel, 28 Weeks Later.
Yes, I remember this one too.
So I like this too because it also shows, okay, what happened after that first one. Let's look back on this world and see where everyone's at. And they kind of had things under control until they didn't. That's Jeremy Renner and Rose Byrne.
Jeremy Renner's in like all the good Army movies and stuff like that.
He's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies.
He's Hawkeye as well. 28 Weeks Later, I believe the ending, because in the first movie it was contained to England, and this movie ends with like zombies storming like the Eiffel Tower. Kind of gives the impression like there's going to be another movie coming, but there was never anything else.
We call that one 56 Weeks Later.
Why not? 280 days later.
Yeah.
28 months later. We're still waiting. I Am Legend, 2007, Will Smith.
I'll tell you, the zombies in this one were creepy. And kind of... and they were smart.
Yes.
They knew when to come. They knew when to come out. They knew, this is a good movie.
Yeah. So this movie kind of had the zombies being led by one zombie who kind of bossed them around. They didn't talk so much as like grunt, but they understood.
Yeah.
And
excuse me.
Whoa.
Well, that was a sneeze, folks.
Got some action. So the only problem I have with this movie is the effects don't really hold up. The CGI zombies look terrible when you watch it now.
Yeah. Oh, the one that's laying on the table in the laboratory. That was bad.
That one. Yeah. So this again is like the remake of the Richard Matheson novel, and it's Omega Man is kind of referenced a lot in this movie, because in Omega Man, Charlton Heston is alone by himself in New York City, and he like goes and watches like movies by himself, and you get a lot of that in this movie, and that's some of the best stuff in the movie. Mm-hmm. Will Smith driving a Mustang around,
a nice Mustang too.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing.
The same year, 2007, Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did a Grindhouse, and Robert Rodriguez, his portion of that was Planet Terror.
I think this is the dumbest movie ever made.
Yeah. To me, this was disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, you got this great director who obviously has a big budget, big stars, and he chooses to kind of do a 1950s style zombie movie that...
The gun on the leg thing in this movie is... No.
That's all this movie had going for it, were the gimmicks like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had a pretty decent cast. I mean, I think it's like Rose McGowan, right?
Yeah, that's Rose McGowan with the machine gun leg.
Oh, yeah. What else can you say?
Yeah. So I was disappointed by this, but I also only saw it once in the theater. I haven't seen it since. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's gotten better?
No. Nope. Just remember the guy saying the guy in the bar restaurant has the best sausage ever made. Remember there was a guy that was like, he had the best sausage or something in the background, always going on. Don't even waste your time watching it, folks. It's trash.
What'd you think of the Quentin Tarantino part of Grindhouse? It was Death Proof. Kurt Russell in a car.
Oh, he's the one, chasing down the people in the car.
Just kills people in his car. That was awesome.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that was really good.
We need more of that.
2009 also had Zombieland.
Woody Harrelson
and Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone. Does that sound right?
Maybe.
Or is that Mila Kunis?
I don't know. No, I don't think it's the Mila lady. I think it's the other one.
Emma.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously... I mean...
Jay, what are your thoughts?
I saw this movie, and it didn't wow me at all.
Same kind of reaction. Like, a couple of funny things, but it's not...
Plus, they killed Bill Murray in one of them.
That's this one,
Yeah. Not acceptable.
I was going to say that's the best part of the movie. Not that they killed him, but that Bill Murray shows up. Yeah, he's still alive. They hang out at his house. Mm-hmm. And then Bill Murray, as a practical joke, like pretends to be a zombie to scare him, and they just kill him.
Yeah. This was going okay, but then in the middle of this, it turns into like this love story thing, kind of whatever going on, and it's I don't know.
It's kind of your typical Hollywood production. You know, it's got to check all four quadrants that people want to see in a movie.
Yeah. Not my cup of tea.
So 2010 had The Crazies.
Yeah, this is a
pretty scary movie.
Yeah. Like you got to pay attention to this one because there's a lot of stuff going on, and like the local sheriff guy on the right, obviously he's trying to figure out what's going on. The military's already coming into the town.
Yeah.
You know, this is a pretty good movie. Makes you think right up to the end too.
Yeah, and what I liked about it, kind of like M. Night Shyamalan, has a real good mood. It sets the mood, and you don't know what's going on. They're like at a baseball game, and a guy just comes out, and in the middle of the field, and is just acting crazy, and it sets off like the whole chain of events, and it's really good.
A lot of dead bodies in this movie too.
Yeah. And the sheriff is played by Timothy Olyphant, who starred in Deadwood and Justified.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
He also played the villain in Die Hard 3. 4.
Really?
Yeah. The computer hacker one.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Less said, the better.
Yes.
So 2013 is Warm Bodies.
Oh, yeah, this is where the zombie is in love with the trash.
Didn't like this one, huh?
No.
So this is actually an attempt to do Romeo and Juliet, but with a zombie.
No.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
This is a common theme, too. I don't mention a lot of the zombie movies, but there's one called, like, I Was a Teenage Zombie. And there's a lot of, like, teenage stories with zombies in movies.
Why can't we just have Romeo and Juliet and just leave it alone? Like,
well, that does exist.
do we have to have a zombie version of it?
Well, that's the thing. You run out of ideas with zombies, right?
Yeah.
Why not? Give it a shot, but
Let's have a zombie Jaws movie.
Ooh. 2013 World War Z.
This was good.
Yes.
Brad Pitt. And you really got to... I mean, man, the zombie scene at the wall.
Yes.
Oh,
The wall in Jerusalem.
yes. Everybody thinks they're safe, and they're not.
So again, you see like zombies doing stuff we hadn't seen before. They're kind of like a colony of ants. They like climb all over each other to reach great heights.
This is the first movie, too, with the zombies where the zombie can detect if there's something going on with your immune system or your body, and they avoid the people. Like, what the one kid had, like, cancer or something, and the zombies avoided him because they knew he had something wrong with him. So,
Yeah. And the story plays out like a mystery. Like Brad Pitt is on a mission to try to figure out where it started, what happened. And it's very globe-trotting, goes all over the place. The ending was kind of a letdown, but it was a good movie.
seems very typical. There's always, like, one guy out there trying to save everybody, and...
You think there'd be a team of scientists?
yeah. One guy.
And his name is Joe Rogan. What?
Yeah, what? What would Joe Rogan do? Kill everybody.
So, you didn't like Warm Bodies.
No.
The story of like a teenage Romeo and Juliet. But this one does it a little bit better. It's called Life After Beth. 2014. That is John C. Reilly
Yes.
and Molly Shannon
Yep.
as the parents of Beth.
With the blood dripping down her face and her neck.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She's played by, you know her from Parks and Recreation, where she was April.
Okay.
And I can't recall her actual name. And that's Dane DeHaan, I think his name.
It's got John C. Reilly in it. It's got to be somewhat funny.
Oh, it's a pretty good movie.
Plus Molly Shannon's in it. I mean, it's got to be.
It's funny. It takes a good approach to the zombie thing. Like, it's kind of going around town and people are getting sick, but nobody kind of like knows what's going on and everyone kind of ignores it.
Oh, like today. I mean, like a good zombie movie.
Wow.
Whoops.
We are live.
Anywho.
Yeah, so I recommend that movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's probably on Showtime or some weird place.
It's on some pay channel you're not going to be able to cancel anyway, so it's...
Yeah. The next one is one we've talked about because it's got Arnold.
This is where his daughter is a zombie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maggie, 2015. Daughter played by Abigail Breslin, something like that.
We know it's Arnold.
Yeah.
This is surprisingly not a bad movie.
It's good. It's very serious.
Yeah.
No Arnold one lines here.
Although it would have been great if he just threw out like "Get to the chopper" for no reason.
Or when he kills somebody, he'd be like, "That's cold-blooded."
I mean, what would you do if one of your family members was, especially one of your kids was a zombie?
That's what the movie asks.
You know, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Do you help them?
Keep them chained up, which
Could get you
yeah.
in trouble. Do you try to train them again? You know?
Yeah. And that brings to a lot of the storylines from some of these other movies we just talked about. Life After Beth, Warm Bodies. What do you do? And this kind of tries a serious approach to the idea. I don't think the movie did much. It wasn't really a wide release in the theater, and you don't ever hear anyone talk about it, but it's pretty good. Next one, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
I saw this. This was actually pretty good.
This was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Had some funny moments.
Yep.
I don't know if it's funnier if you've been in the Boy Scouts or not.
I don't know.
You were a Boy Scout, right?
I was in the Cub Scouts for,
Scouts.
I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I think I got 1 or 2 patches, I think. I don't know. But back then, you actually had to do something to get a patch.
Unlike today.
Now they're just like, you get a patch, you get a patch. Oprah, everyone gets a patch.
Wow. Going after Oprah. This is a big week for you. Taking on all challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie, for teenagers, most likely that's the audience, but it's pretty good. It's funny.
Yeah.
The next one is one I haven't actually seen, but I see the trailer for it all the time on cheap Blu-rays I pick up at the dollar store.
So they're zombie hunters.
It's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yeah.
2016.
I watched this for about 20 minutes.
Only 20 minutes?
That's about it. That's all I could take.
Okay. So no good is what
No
you're
good.
saying.
Don't waste your time.
Oh, the trailer looks really good.
Yep. That's about the extent of the the good stuff right there, the trailer.
All right. Well, what was bad about it?
It's just, women going around killing people, zombies.
Wow, you could have fooled me. I thought it was going to be something else.
I wasn't buying into this. Like, just wasn't my thing.
All right. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's like watching Twilight. It's not my thing.
Oh, is it like that kind of movie?
That
Like
kind of like
Twilight?
romantic, that.
Are you familiar with Pride and Prejudice, the source material?
Yeah, but it's not even the same kind of movie. I mean, I get maybe the dress code is the same, but...
All right. Next up is a recent movie that I think is on Amazon. I think that's where I watched it. Overlord.
Yeah, this is where the Nazis are doing their...
Yeah. So this is, starts out as like a regular kind of World War II movie. You follow a bunch of GIs as they're storming a castle in Germany. And, the Nazis are making zombies.
These damn Nazis, man. I'm telling you. Terrible people.
Oh, the things they do.
Yeah.
Anyway. This is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it gets really, really good at towards the all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, these zombies are like indestructible kind of people.
And that's what I liked about it is the movie escalates. Like it starts out as a war movie,
really slow,
and if you stick with it and give it time, it just grows and grows and gets bigger and bigger. One of the actors in it is Wyatt Russell, who is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son.
Really?
He also played in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. He played the new Captain America in that.
Okay.
It's a pretty good cast. Lots of other familiar faces whose names I don't know at the moment.
Hey.
Yeah, but Overlord, you got to check it out.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Pretty good movie.
Now, have you seen any of these other Nazis up to no good movie? I'm thinking of Iron Sky. Did you see Iron Sky? That's the one where the Nazis secretly made it to the moon and had a base on the moon. And then...
Nothing would surprise me.
Yeah. There's like a whole subgenre of Nazi scientists gone wild. Yeah, it's a weird...
I mean, you go back to the Nazis and the Raiders of the Lost, or the Indiana Jones movies.
Well, sure. But
they were bad then.
Yeah. I guess you got a point there, because they were into the occult. And they were trying to win the war by carrying the Ark of the Covenant. So maybe this stuff isn't as weird as it sounds.
Nope.
So in 2019, Bill Murray made The Dead Don't Die with Adam Driver in a movie directed by Jim Jarmusch, who did a lot of good movies. A movie called Broken Flowers that Bill Murray also starred in. This is a dry kind of humor in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a over-the-top comedy. It's a very subtle indie film.
Okay.
It's pretty good, though. It's basically a town of, like, kind of idiots who are very slow to react to the fact that half the town has been turned into zombies.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
And their kind of inactivity kind of leads to their doom, because by the time they start to do anything, there's just too many zombies.
Interesting.
It's a good movie, though.
Yeah.
And if I was going to do a zombie movie, I might call it There's Too Many Zombies.
I mean, eventually it's going to become a problem.
Yeah. That's one thing about zombies. They tend to multiply.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of stray cats.
Always comes back to cats for you.
Yes, it does. Cats have haunted me all my life.
Speaking of which, they remade Pet Sematary in 2019.
It's John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Classic actor.
His character was great in this movie, in the remake. I did not like the rest of where they went with everything in this movie.
Right. The rest of the movie wasn't very good.
No. They went way over the top with all the other nonsense in this one.
Yeah.
Just, if they would have just stayed true to the original film, like, cat dies, bury the cat comes back. But they went way crazy on this one.
Yeah.
I think this ends with, like, the husband and the wife have both been dead and buried, right? Or something.
That sounds right.
He's like, everybody's dying at the end.
And you gotta figure they were planning on making more of these.
I don't know.
Yeah. But John Lithgow is good in everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing you can take away from this.
He's like the Campbell Soup guy commercial, too. He does, like, the voiceover for, like, Campbell Soup.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Loved him when he was Harry in the Hendersons. One of my favorite movies with him in it.
The best.
Yeah.
World According to Garp? No. How about Army of the Dead? Did you get a chance to see
I
this?
did see this.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
In a Zack Schneider Las Vegas zombie movie.
Again, this is like the full evolution of the zombie. Like, they talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know, they have, like, posses. They have, like, they know when they can come out, when they can't. They
wear clothes.
Yeah.
They
have a king. They have a queen.
Yeah, they have pets, pet tigers. Lots of tigers.
You can see through them. This was okay. This got in a little bit more of the CGI and special effects, and
yeah,
you know, the zombies are pretty scary in this one too. Because I hope that never happens.
You want the slow?
I'd rather have the slow ones and I'll never understand why nobody can outrun the slow ones.
Yeah. Although going back to Return of the Living Dead, they were surprisingly quick in that movie. Like, I don't know if you remember, they were like in the morgue and they call for an ambulance, and like ambulance shows up and then a cop shows up. Whoever shows up, the zombies just swarm them and devour them.
Well, you know, as these newer ones came out, the zombies started going upstairs.
Yeah, climbing walls. Yeah. I did feel like this one, like you're saying, it's just too much of everything.
Yeah, they went really crazy over the top with this one.
Yeah. I want to see Dave Bautista in a kick-ass zombie movie, but not one where it's like all computer generated.
Yeah, I really wanted to see more of Dave Bautista in this.
Yeah.
Like, he should just be the main guy. He's the only guy. That's it.
In every movie.
Yeah. We didn't need all the other extras in the movie. Just Dave Bautista.
All right, so that's my list of 32 zombie movies.
Holy crap.
Yeah. What you had some zombie movies you wanted to mention though?
So I've seen some of the zombie TV shows, but I've seen the ones where, and I can't remember the actor's name. You told me earlier.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. The ones where he's got the chainsaw in his hand and the, you know, Evil Dead movies and things like that. They were great movies. Like some of the vomit scenes in Evil Dead, the blood scenes are insane. Like, obviously, over-the-top special effects, but they were different. They weren't CGI. They were, you know, whatever they were doing back then. But
right. And I think
he's funny, too.
Yeah.
He's funny in everything he does.
Those movies started as, like, a small indie film, and then they got bigger and bigger. Directed by Sam Raimi, who did the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire movies. Something wrong with your drink?
That thing's disgusting. I drank the whole thing, but it's freaking disgusting.
Do you usually get those?
No.
All right.
Got it for free, though, so...
Oh, freebie.
Yeah. Coffee plus splash of milk and vanilla. It may be expired. I don't know. But it's a Starbucks cold and crafted. Cold brew. Not my thing.
No.
It's like going out to a mud puddle in a parking lot and just drinking it. That's pretty much what it tastes like.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, and so before we go, Walking Dead, you know, we didn't mention because we're mostly talking movies, but the Walking Dead definitely spurred like a sudden interest in zombies when it came out. And I think you're seeing a lot more zombie stuff nowadays because of that.
Well, there's all these other things now, like The Walking Dead ended, and now there's all these other ones. Like,
it's had 2 spin-offs at least, and I don't think The Walking Dead ended yet. I think it's still going.
No, is it still going?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I stopped watching like halfway through season 4. It just like got to be too much. I do think season 1 and 2 though are really good examples of zombie stuff. I recommend it, but then the show just went.
I think what happens with some of these shows is they got something that's working in like season 1 and season 2, and then they have to go so crazy over the top for everything else. It's like, just stay to what you were actually doing.
Yeah.
But who am I?
It'd be like if The Sopranos, after season 1, decided to add 50 more characters. Yep, they did. They just stuck with what.
Or if somewhere in the middle of The Sopranos they brought in David Hasselhoff, you'd be like, why? Why'd they do that? It makes no sense.
Although seeing the Hoff in Sopranos, man, that sounds just interesting. What would he be?
He'd have to be like a nephew of like Tony Soprano or something. Like,
I thought it would be like a lounge singer that they kill.
Or one of the strippers at the Bada Bing. I don't know what else you'd use them for.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but...
Anyways.
So, good time to mention, you can always call us, 585-484-1770, Baloney Nation Hotline.
Yep.
We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We have almost no one watching, so there's no comments to mention at all. Well, we are not normally on Saturday nights.
Nope.
Unscheduled.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of people out there right now, you know, doing things that they would, you know, do on a Saturday night, like maybe go to a movie or, you know, out to eat someplace or, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we're always on demand. You can watch us anytime, anywhere.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably a big UFC fight on tonight, and that's why people aren't watching. Oh, there's a big AEW pay-per-view tonight.
Is that tonight?
That is tonight, I believe. That's probably why no one's watching.
That's it. We figured it out.
Yeah. Not our fault.
Any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
No. Don't buy this, ever.
Don't buy that.
Trash.
All right.
And, don't forget, new hoodies are available.
Are we selling those?
We'll make them for you if you want one.
Whoops.
Hey!
Blackout.
We won't put your name on them unless you want a name on it. You tell us your name, we'll put your name on a hoodie.
Now, if they want a hoodie that says Jim Deezy, is that something we would do?
Sure. For the first person that sends us in $500, I'll give you a show-worn hoodie.
Wow. And that's an opening bid, because it might escalate.
It might. It's probably going to go up higher than that anyway. Yeah. I mean...
It's like Storage Wars. You don't know what's going to be in the pockets of that hoodie.
Oh, you know what? Oh, could have been an iPhone in the pockets. You never know.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, thanks for driving up here on a Saturday night.
Hey, listen, man. It's all about the fans.
That's right.
Making sure the fans are taken care of. We're doing a special show coming up here too, aren't we?
Did you find out if that one person's available?
Yes, he is ready to go. He even bought a new D&D board game.
Okay.
I think.
I did too.
Yeah. This is going to be crazy.
So let's say next Sunday, we are going to play Dungeons & Dragons live on Talkin Baloney.
A week from tomorrow, folks.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. Because I've never played... I played it once for like 20 minutes.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same game.
Same game. We were both...
Yeah. We got kicked out.
Yeah, we were told to leave.
Never played again.
Probably going to happen a week from tomorrow.
And do you want to say who the special guest is?
It's going to be E-Dubs. He's making his return to the show.
E-Dubs.
Yeah.
Who, the last time we heard from E-Dubs, he did the stand-up challenge, the comedy.
Yeah. He did an okay job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to his raw talent coming onto the show.
And he'll be the dungeon master.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one of us who's played the game, so he will control the game.
Wait, that's called a dungeon master?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we talking 50 Shades of Grey now, or what? Nope.
So we'll see what happens there.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you never know, folks, who might stop by during that game. Melly Mel's might be around. You never know.
Yeah, and the phone lines are open, so we could take phone calls.
Mm-hmm. And defend your game, folks, if you want to watch the game live and you don't like what I'm saying. Hey, defend the Dungeons & Dragons game, or I'll throw a spell on you.
Are there spells in there?
Aren't there spells?
I don't know.
I thought there was like trolls under bridges and potions and... Or am I thinking a whole different...
I don't know.
We'll find out.
It'll be fun.
We're all going to find out together.
We'll find out as we're playing. We're not going to do any research, right? We're not going to study the game.
Oh, hell no.
Just ask Jim Deezy if he was going to do any research. What the hell was I thinking?
What kind of question is that? Where's the hidden camera?
All right, let's go home.
All right. Everybody, peace out.
Ow.